Okay, I hope you guys had a pretty nice Christmas. Happy holidays as well. New Year's is coming up very soon. And of course, 2025. Now, we're back on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I took a nice little vacation for Christmas, you know. But today's video, we're going to start off talking about the economy in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, because for the next couple of videos, I kind of want to compare how they can improve this game for 2025. I mean, we all know Season 3 is no longer going to be Clan Wars. It's going to be something that's more aligned with the community requests and such like that. Again, houses will not be Season 3, but there are a lot more things that they will be adding apart from that. But back on topic, let's talk about this. What can they possibly add, or how can they improve it? And that's the economy. Now, the very first thing I want to discuss, and that's because it actually came to my mind, the new current live event that we have for New Year's is just an emote. However, I did tell you guys that in the last week live event, because it was 150 points, I didn't really agree with it, you know. However, this one is 50, so it seems the temporary fix for live events. I think they're going to improve live events again in Season 3. But it seems now they've changed the actual amount of races you need to do depending on what your reward is. So fair enough, we got a livery, and I think that was 130 points if I remember correctly, or 150. I can't remember. I think it was 130. Or actually no, it was 150. I think. Yeah, I think it was. Anyways, so if emotes are going to be 50 points, stickers probably should be less, in my opinion. And you know, it would be nice if come Season 3 we could have more than one live event per week. I don't know if that's even possible. So if you have things like this where you have stages, so if you complete 50 points you get an emote. If you complete 100 points you then get say another I don't know, a livery or something like that. I don't know, but anyways, so they can improve that like that. It seems they're on the right track, but it just needs a little bit more tweaking and then they're there. But the biggest thing about economy that people complain about is the grinding and the money that you can earn in this game. And I'm going to talk about that because the thing is, you know, when topics like this come up, it's kind of hard to follow if, you know, what people are saying is true to what the TDU is, because we all know you have to work for your cars. Now, in my opinion, the issue isn't that, you know, their grind is bad in TDFC. I think honestly the economy is pretty damn good. The only exception, and I think a lot of people had this misread when the update came out, but one of the things that happened in this game, I think it was a Season 1 update, is they increased the prices of some vehicles. Now, people thought this was just them being a nuisance, you know, guilt on the licensing community, but in fairness, what they did increase was the price of special editions. I mean, it should have been something that they noticed before the game launched, but essentially you had cars like the Panther Edition or Decennium or the R8 Green Hell costing less than the actual base model RWS in game, which doesn't make any sense, because if you think about it, you don't have to pay less money for a special edition of a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? So in fairness, that's why they increased the price of that. So honestly, I see zero issue with that price increase. The only thing that I might say is that some vehicles might need a little bit of tweaking and balancing on cost, because for example, I mean, at the same time, you got a 1 million for the RWS, and for the all-wheel drive Audi R8, it's now 4 million, which is about the same price as the now Spider as a hypercar. But again, I think that's just a different story. But in terms of grinding in this game, what I will mention, and honestly I wouldn't even go for special editions because most of the time they just do the same thing as the cheaper edition does. But you have cars obviously like the Bugatti Super Sports being 4 mil, Chiron 11 mil, Agera 9 mil, 10 mil obviously with probably options, 12 mil for the A110, sorry, the 110 anniversary edition. That being said, right now the current fastest method to grind this game is heading over to Ibiza and doing the race. I already made a video on this, the Highway to Heaven race. Literally you'll get more than 1 million per hour. Now that compared to other TDU games is roughly around the same amount of money, and that's also including the economy as well in terms of the price of cars. That's literally around the same amount of grinding as it is in TDU 2 or even TDU 1. And I also forgot to mention one thing. Another thing that they did do, which kind of works in an advantage, although I think they needed to optimize it a bit more before fully implementing it, is they changed the payouts of races around Hong Kong Island, and they removed a certain thing that made a lot more people pissed. Now, what they removed was the ability to replay races, because what happened is that when you replayed races, after a certain amount, you actually got a decreased buff. So you got decreased money, decreased XP. And that was something that people didn't like. Now, clan races were unaffected by that, by the actual XP. However, regular races were affected by money and XP. So clan races were just money that was affected. With that being said, now that they removed that, they decreased the amounts of money that you can earn in the races as well, which fair enough makes sense, because now in the same amounts of races as you had at the cap anyways, you now make more money, which, okay, makes sense. However, one thing that they forgot to check now was the actual cost of or rewards for the crown jewel races, which are essentially the long races that are go around the map or stuff like that. Now, here's how they need to improve that. Now, I think at the moment, race earnings are also based on the length of the race. So, for example, here's 11 minutes, you get 46 million. And if I go to like one of these, if it's gonna load, 86, for example. And I think this race is supposed to be longer or something like that. But anyways, I think it's based on time and not distance. But with that being said, one thing that they need to do is increase the amount earned per race in these crown jewel races, because they're end game races. If you get up all the way to level 60, you deserve to have an easier grind because you work so hard to get to that level. Now, for example, this race I think should be doubled. I think all crown jewel rewards should be doubled from their yeah, let me just think about that. Yeah, I think double is fine, to be honest with you. I would probably lower this one and give the other ones a little bit more. But what would be nice is also if these crown jewel races also had different restrictions similar to Ibiza. That would make them very interesting, because now not only right now you have this one in a hypercar. Imagine you change this to now a 2CV only. I mean, granted, it'll take a very long time. I'm certain of it. But what they should do is base these races now and change them. Have that same system in Ibiza apply to the crown jewel races in this game, where restrictions change over time. Similar reset. If they can add that to the jewel races, I think players would love that. And again, it adds a different vibe to it, I think. For example, this one's cross country. You earn 100k per race. This one's definitely longer. I need to... How far am I from spawn? Yeah, I don't know the best time for a race like this, to be honest with you, so I can't tell you. But obviously here, per completion, it's 100k. Now, the issue, when you go to Ibiza, you get 1 million per hour, and I think it's like 50k in 2 minutes. This is not a 2-minute race. So automatically, people aren't going to want to play these type of races. So what I would say, again, is they need to increase the race money earned for the crown jewel races, just to make them more special. Maybe a couple more races they can increase the payouts, but at the same time, the downfall with the Ibiza is you don't earn reputation, you only earn clan and stuff like that. But oh, this is a quite interesting track race. I need to just, I might check out the live events as well. They have some pretty interesting restrictions that I definitely want to check out. But anyways, but the issue isn't the actual grinding. I find that people are confusing grinding versus something else, and we're gonna head to Ibiza and talk about that. I mean, we gotta cruise. I might switch cars, to be honest. Let's find a car I haven't driven in a while. My MC20. But yeah, let's talk about this now. Again, I find that people are confusing grind with how this game is actually played in terms of the gameplay loop. Now, I find that people are confusing the gameplay loop with actual progression, and that's something that I think we need to kind of get right here. So let's talk about that. Now, what I mean by a gameplay loop is, compared to TDU1 and TDU2, obviously this game is missing I can't believe I mispronounced that word, but this game is missing TDU features. Now, the thing is, again, as I told you, the fastest way to gain XP and money in this game is Highway to Heaven, million per hour. Same as other TDU games, roughly. But the issue with that is that you can only do races to get through this game and get money and everything. Now, because of that, that's where the repetitive grind gets too repetitive. So the progression makes total sense, but the economy makes total sense. But the gameplay loop is where the issue actually is, not the progression, not the economy. All of that, I think, is fine. They have the right mindset on how much you could be getting per hour on maximum. So this is where we have to talk about what we need to add to this game to improve the gameplay loop. And I'm gonna go a little bit further in more detail about this in a video next week, or next week, talking about what we need to see in season 3 in terms of community requests and what I hope that Killtown can implement for season 3. But now we're back on Ibiza. One thing again, I need to draw this camera off, man. I miss it. Getting distracted, man. Let's focus. Anyways, so the gameplay loop. Again, all you have on Ibiza and all you have on Hong Kong Island are races. There's no other way to kind of level up the game. I mean, yeah, you can explore the roads and get those little things that you see here. The thing is, you could do that in TDU 2 and also gain level. The issue is that you had so many more things in TDU 2 that you could actually help progress the game and earn money throughout the game, and it just made things, there's a lot more variety, and variety is where you can affect how people react to the game's progression and the game's economy. In fact, let's just boot up TDU 2 real quick so I can show you the differences. Actually, fun fact, post season 2, I don't know what they did, but you can no longer launch TDU 2 at the same time you launch Test Drive the Solar Crown. So if you have TDUC open, you can't open TDU 2, and if you have well, I need to fix this, it seems, but if you have this already open, then let's just go to our settings and fix this real quick. Okay, so we'll fix this now. Let's take a look at the levels and progression that you can get in TDU 2. Now, you guys had this is how they kind of split the levels in this game. You had completion, you had competition, you had collection, then you had discovery, and you had social. Now, all these contributed to basically essentially your main level. As you increase each one, you guys can see there, each one of these contributed a certain amount of levels towards your total global level. So that's how it worked. And I think they might have increased the levels as they've added updates, I think, but I could be wrong. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. But anyways, first let's take a look at competition. Now, go see at the racing school, championships, cups, instant challenges, multiplayer challenges, and duels. Now, duels are the 1v1s, which are basically in TDC in the form of the clan challengers. Multiplayer challenges, obviously multiplayer races. Instant challenges we have in TDC. Championships we have in TDC, but it would be nice, and someone actually said this in another, I think it was Sync who said this in one of my discords, but having cups in TDC would be another way to kind of refresh the scenario in the game. And obviously the cup system in TDU 2, how it worked, is this basically just like any other real life race event. You'd have multiple races that you'd have to complete, and within those races you earn points depending on what place you finish, and then at the end you're awarded a winner. Forza Horizon kind of has this, actually, to be honest with you. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I think there are the like weekly events or something like that where you do multiple races and then it averages out the based on points, then you win that way. Having cups in TDUSC, I think would go a long way in terms of having this game have more avenues in terms of getting money, if you know what I'm saying. Now, the racing school we don't have in TDC at all. Some people hated it, some people loved it, but that's that. Now, collection is another way you can earn through level. Obviously, we don't have houses at the moment, but stickers we have, cosmetic clinic we have, haircuts, all that. I think, select your goal and it will appear, yeah, just buying different haircuts is what you have. Now, the next one you had is discovery, basically like TDU 2. Treasure hunt, Rex, just like TDUSC. However, these two methods is what we are missing. Now, you have your viewpoints. These are photo missions, and these are just another way to help improve the economy in TDU 2. And obviously, in TDUSC, we are missing both missions and photo missions, as well as a whole load else. But we're talking about progression and economy today, because right now, as I said, the issue that players have isn't that the grind economy is poor, because I don't think any of that. I think a lot of us think that, you know, this game is supposed to have a grind to it. It's a TDU game. It's supposed to work and earn for your cars. I understand there is, to some extent, some people won't have all the time to earn that, but just made it that much more worthwhile. I mean, even in TDU 2, I don't really have time to play, but at the same time, I still had to work for my cars. And, you know, I don't want this game to end up giving away cars like it's Forza Horizon, man. Each game, each open world racer needs to have a difference. And in Motorfest, I feel like there's no need to even buy cars anyways. Forza Horizon cars are rewarded to you. Need for Speed is probably the next thing, but again, Need for Speed and I would say is kind of its own league compared to Forza Horizon, Motorfest, and TDU, just because it's more of a grimy arcade game. Not grimy in the use of saying bad, but grimy is in like, you know, the underground street racing scene type thing. But yeah, events and photography missions are very much well needed in TDUSC. Missions, more importantly, they have to come in season 3 because you can't see your scrapping clan wars to help, you know, implement community requests and not drop missions, because at that point the community is going to look at that and be like, yeah bro, whatever, we're scrapping the game anyways. So that's that. But as you guys can see, there were a lot of missions. And hey, maybe even add more trophies to the game, please, KT, when you add missions. But anyways, you had that. Then you had social, which you had clubs, chase, co-op challenges, co-op races, which again, these kind of add, I mean, I'm not sure if you have the player base numbers to really get away with co-op challenges yet. But at some point, it would be nice to implement those co-op races, which I think I have to do a stream on TD2 again, so I can show you guys, make a video on it. But you had to follow the leader as one of them. And you also had, what was it? Keep your distance. I think I made a video discussing how each one works already, but again, that'll be for probably the video talking about what I'd like to see in season 3 in terms of increasing the amount of ways we can earn money. Because again, I'm pretty sure this is what people's issue is. It's not the fact that this game economy is bad or anything. It's that it's just only races to progress through the game. And when that gets repeated and repeated through grind, it gets boring essentially. And that's not really what TDU is about. TDU is about earning money through multiple avenues. You know, look at Motorfest, basically racing all the time. Look at Forza Horizon, basically racing all the time. We need missions, we need photo missions, we need co-op racing, we need co-op challenges to help fix that grind, you know? And the thing is, I hope Kyoto listens to this, man, because they are still on the right path, you know? TDC has a good base. And let's hop back on TDC. Oh, Ryan Wilder. Oh, this song is definitely copyrighted, but this is a banger. Why do I not have that song on my phone? You know, listen, what I will admit, TDC's soundtrack is impeccable. Anyways, let's head back over to TDUSC. Okay, here we are back on Ibiza. Now, one thing I gotta say is, again, you know, as much as I enjoy this new map, I really do hope that they can either complete it or, you know, figure something out, because the contrast between Hong Kong Island and Ibiza definitely work. It would be nice if we saw some rain, even if it's just minimal on Ibiza, like once a week in terms of gameplay week. But yeah, anyways, what I do need to do, and because we got a TD2 versus TDUSC video in terms of Ibiza, I need to now go buy my, I think I have it unlocked. What we got? Yeah, Ferrari California, we got unlocked now. I need to get the Jago as well, but that's level 70, which I'm kind of still a bit far away from. Only about 5 levels left. But yeah. So that's basically the video I want to talk to you guys about. I mean, this game still has potential. It's not that far off from actually being a good TDU game. They still got some months left in terms of, you know, season 3. Then we got season 4, the casino. That has to be a banger as well. But year 2, season 1 is where it matters. That's September next year. That's likely going to be before Forza Horizon 6. Going to be just after Set of Course's small open world update, which, and I say small because they're not dropping the whole 1600 kilometer square map right away. They said they're going to build it as they progress, as well as the features within that map. So even when that comes out in the summer, I'm not sure it's really going to be a TDC killer, as people say. It's definitely in its own league regardless. But that being said, you know, there's ways that they can still improve this game, and the economy and the actual progression, I think at its current stage, is fine in terms of buying, purchasing, earning money. The issue, however, again, is within the ways you can earn it. Because compared to TDU2, all you have is racing in TDUSC. When we know TDU is not just about that. It's about all those other time bomb missions. It's about, you know, the regular missions in general, delivery, taxi. There's so much. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the TDC economy, and if you agree with me. I'm pretty sure my take isn't hot at all. I think everyone agrees that, you know, the economy and the way you earn cars in this game is fine. The issue is just where and how you can earn that money. Because let's be honest, if we had missions and everything, I don't think we would have that much of an issue with complaints about that. But yeah. Anyways, I'm Alex7, and I'll see you guys in another video. I'm out, guys. Peace.